It's Charles Sterling from Sterling Power. We're just doing a quick test on John Denby's Mercedes. Could you tell me what the specification is of your particular Mercedes Campervan?
Yes, it's a Sprinter, and because I'm doing a lot of off-road and wild camping, I've gone for the four-wheel drive with low ratio as well. So I think it's to a very high spec, and that's what I wanted. And I've had a bespoke conversion done in it, and so really that was always my intention.
And on the electrical end, did you put a larger battery bank in?
Yes, really I didn't say that I was limited by cost in any way, so I have a 400 amp domestic battery, and I've got things like underfloor heating because I want to go skiing in it and use it in all conditions.
And your basic fundamental problem is that it's not charging. You've bought a vehicle on the assumption that you can wildside camp, and you simply can't.
Well, I've taken it back 3 times to the manufacturer, and he has checked everything, and he tells me that everything is as it should be. And I'm saying, well, really, that's all very well, but after a day, my engine battery or my battery banks are so low, and then even when I drive back up the motorway for 5 hours, I still find that when I get home, I've still not fully charged the batteries, and I really should have done.
Right. Oh, definitely you should have. So if we'll try and find the problem bit by bit. I suspect there's 2 or 3 problems. The first problem I'd like to show you is, synonymous with your industry. What you've got to understand with the camper vehicles is that most vehicles are designed to go from campsite to campsite. Most people who buy a camper van think they can use it for wildside camping, i.e. you can just stop here, camp for a few days and everybody's happy. That's absolutely not the case. The vehicles are designed solely to go from 240 volts at a campsite to 240 volts at another campsite.
Well, that's all very well, but I'd have thought I've got 400 amp hours, I can use 200 amp hours of those. I've got my engine battery, and with, let's say, an alternator that's running at 80 amps, one would imagine that after a couple of hours of motoring, or 3 hours of motoring, I should have put back whatever the battery drain was.
And mathematically you're completely right, but what you'll find on your vehicle will be 2 or 3 problems which will absolutely prevent that. Now I'm going to show you the single biggest problem, which is fitted to the vast majority of vehicles. Now I'm not trying to be unfair to people who manufacture this type of equipment, because at the end of the day they're manufacturing this for the campervan companies who are designing vehicles to go from site to site. Now as a site to site solution, these are cheap, these do what they say they do in the tin, and there's absolutely no problem with this product whatsoever. However, if you want wildside camping and you're trying to maximize your alternator performance into a large battery bank, these things are absolute disaster. And this is the basic fundamental problem with just about every camper van going. Now, this particular model is a Sergeant. This is actually a top of the range model, and I'm not sort of picking on Sergeant for any particular reason. It's no better, it's no worse than other products on the market. But if you look at the actual first input fuse, I don't know if you can focus in on this. Can you see that all right?
Yeah.
Right. Now this is a good model. This is a top of the range one. Leisure battery 20 amps. Vehicle battery 20 amps. So this unit fits between the vehicle battery and the leisure battery. So in other words, all your charging from the alternator comes through into this box and then goes out to the vehicle battery, etc., etc. Now you can see the fuse is 20 amps. Now modern vehicles can have a 150 or 160 amp alternator on the engine, and in John's particular case he's got a 400 amp battery bank, so you can't actually do more than 20 amps down the cable, and I can assure you the cable that goes into this unit couldn't even carry 20 amps because the 20 amp fuse. So it's something more in the region of 5 to 10 amps maximum is being charged to the second vehicle as you're driving along the road, which is appalling if you're actually trying to rely on your alternator to charge your secondary battery system. So this is basically, these things here are simple, they're easy to fit, and the vehicle manufacturers love them. But there's no way that this type of thing can be used if you want wildside camping. Do you find that surprising that they use this type of product?
Well, I do, because my specification was really very clear, and I even have solar panels, and I suspect that the manufacturer just thought that this would do the job that I was asking him to.
And this is what they all fit. So to be fair to the manufacturer, that's what they fit, and that's their understanding. Now, at Sterling Power, we completely have nothing to do with this type of product at all. Our job is to maximise your charge from your alternator to your secondary battery system. This, as far as we're concerned, is a nightmare in the middle.
Okay, can I ask you a question though before you go any further? Might it be that if they put your system on, it might invalidate any warranty from Mercedes for the engine?
No, because our system doesn't, as the same as this, our system doesn't fit into the engine. It fits exterior from the vehicle. So we fit our system as this is fitted onto the starter battery. The difference is this is unintelligent. It just simply is a route through with bad cabling through this box and bad cabling out the other side. Our cabling, we would use something, the cable going into this unit here would be somewhere in the region of, I'll just grab something here to give you some idea. Let's see, I would suspect the cable going into this would be about this thick here, not much more than this here. Whereas the cabling we would expect to be using on our product would be somewhere as thick as this here, much thicker. So cabling is the vast majority of problems, but the warranty is only if you go inside the vehicle system. We go exterior to the vehicle system. So no, it wouldn't affect your warranty from Mercedes end. So yeah, well, what we'll do is we'll go down, have a look at your vehicle, we'll get some voltage readings at the front, at the back, and we'll move it on a bit further forward, and then we'll come back and see what difference we can make. Okay, John, here's your vehicle.
Yes.
We have switched the heater on for about an hour. You have your 400 amps of batteries at the back. You've got your 100 odd amp alternator in the front. So all we're doing here is actually we're taking your batteries right down. We're now going to show you your standard system, how many amps you're charging at, and then we're going to modify your vehicle and put the Sterling system on, the battery-to-battery charger, and show you what difference it makes. Now, in most products, when you improve something, you get a sort of 50% improvement. We'll see after we've finished what percentage improvement we're going to give you.
Can't wait to see that.
Doing around 95 to 100 amps at the moment into your battery, where the previous system was doing around 5 to 7. So we're looking at a nearly 20 times improvement, which is 2,000%. And that's one of our biggest problems, is that when we do advertising literature, people say, well, how much is it going to improve the performance? And when we say figures like 2,000%, they think we're insane. So we don't. We just say figures like 3 to 5 times better. If you start making things 10 to 20 times better. They just think you're insane. But anyway, you've seen the improvement. That also has the advantage of if you are parked up somewhere and you want to stay there, you will see all your other people in the area running small generators into a box like this here, which in this particular case we have I think it's a 30 amp battery charger in it, whereas all you have to do is switch your engine on for half an hour in the morning, heat your water up, warm your vehicle up, and charge it in 90 amps or 100 amps rather than 30 amps.
Of course, this is just what I wanted originally. This is now fit for purpose, and it wasn't before. What amazes me is that the company I went to fit it out really thought that they were doing the correct thing for me just because they were doing what everybody else in the industry did. And I don't think they truly understood or wanted to understand how they could deliver to me what it was I was looking for.
Yeah, well, that's indicative to the whole industry, so I can't really sort of criticise the people that did the work because they're all exactly the same. There's very few, what I can see, vehicles on the market that are fit for wildside camping. Although it does seem to be a much more common thing that people want. They want to get away from being in campsites. So yes, I mean, so the bottom line is if you want to go from campsite to campsite, this on your vehicle is fine. It does the job and there's no problem with it at all. You want to do wildside camping, well, you need to contact us.
From a selfish point of view, I think you should throw your kit away because I don't want lots of people next to me doing wild camping.
Oh, okay. Bear that in mind. Okay. All right, thank you.